Radio.
Ẹ má yí kúrò, 89.3 là wá ń gbọ́.
Olúyọ̀lé là wà.
89.3 là wá ń gbọ́.
West Radio 89.3 FM kànga gbọ́nmágbẹ́.
Ẹ filẹ̀, ẹ má yí kúrò. Wells Radio 89.3 FM níbẹ̀ gangan lẹ wà.
Studio time check says it's 35 minutes gone past 2 p.m. Today is the 27th day in September of 2025. Good afternoon to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. If you're tuning in for the first time, I say welcome and thank you for tuning in. Wells Radio is your preferred wholesome radio station where we bring to you wholesome content suitable for every single member of your family. We bring you content that fits whatever it is you doing or you like as a family member. Name it, we have it here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, all given to you in a wholesome manner. So welcome this wonderful Saturday afternoon. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola, and the program is Meet the Press, basically where we have eminent personalities meeting the press. So what does that mean? We bring big personalities talk to them, ask them questions. Yes, and today will not be different. Of course, it's a panel. I'll introduce my fellow panelists. But before I do that, I'd like you to know that we're live on Facebook at Wells Radio 893. So I'd like you to go onto Facebook and like our post right now. Share, of course, because good things deserve to be shared among your friends. And don't forget to drop your comments as well. Also follow us on our Instagram, TikTok, and X page at Wells Radio 893. If you're traveling out of Ibadan and you stumbled upon this program, don't worry, you can still continue to listen to us even if you're outside of Nigeria. Just go to our website, www.wellsradio893.com. That's how you can listen to us. Just scroll down, you see a play button, and just click on it. Or you can listen via radio directories. Find us on radiogarden.com. Find us on onlineradiobox.net, and you'll be able to listen to us. Or just simply Google Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and you'll find links to listen to us. All right, that being said, welcome once again to Meet the Press. Today promises to be interesting, and we're going to talk, about something very, very that's dear to the heart of everyone now. But before we get to that, I'll introduce our fellow panelists on the show today. Good afternoon, Chukwemeka.
Good afternoon, Bola.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
And how was were you at the coronation yesterday?
No, I was not there. I was here in the studio, relaying what you people were sending to us, to all our listeners.
See how I'm asking as if I didn't even know. But, following the coronation yesterday, how do you feel?
Well, it's long. I thank God for, I have always maintained that Ladoja is a man I love so much for his simplicity. He's not a loud individual, you understand? And if you look at him, you know that he's down to earth. I have a lot of expectations as far as his reign is concerned. And, he's an intellectual. He's well-read and widely traveled. And I think he will not fall into the trap of those who see good things outside and they won't replicate it at home. Because if you look at the demands he made so far, you know that he knows where he's going. And what he said about... look, an Oba is not just to acquire wives and be snatching people's wife, And yes, and he also came hard on sanitizing the Abule area of drug, drug menace. That's a very good one because that drug issue is a wildfire, which many of us don't know that this country is going down. As far as our youths are hooked with psychoactive substances, there's no future. But for him to say it openly that he will make sure that these things are rightly addressed, I give him, I am so happy that such a man has come for such a time like this. So kudos to His Imperial Majesty, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. I like him so much. I had the privilege of, I was about to interview him in his Bodija home about 3 years ago, but all these aids and hangers on, he didn't allow me to. But even getting to his house, such a beautiful, simple place, you mix him with the crowd, and there was no air. There was no air of, don't you know where? No. In fact, that thing, it blew my mind. And since then, I fell in love with him.
All right. And that's Mr. Chukwemeka Mnachiso, panelist on Meet the Press. And we'll also have Mr. Sanusi. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to the last Saturday in the month of September.
That's true. The month is almost over.
I think this year your community meeting is always making you to know this is the last month. I didn't even know it's the last Saturday of the month.
Also when he came in, he said, welcome to Oyo State. He even told me, welcome to Oyo State. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Sansi knows something that we don't know.
Yeah, we don't have to remind ourselves most of the time. You see, these issue. For example, there are educated people and there are certificated people. The incumbent Olubad of Ibadan now is an educated person. He's an educated personality who will use his education, level of education, to transform the traditional, routes in Oyo State. I've known this man in fact, before I gained admission to school, I'd known him. He had been, he came in as a governor. He was, impeached. Later, he got reinstated, ruled for about maybe 7, 8, 9 months or so before his tenure finished. So I feel his term or his tenure now will bring a kind of transformation to Oyo State. For example, when the present governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwaseyi Makinde, that time or that day I covered the lecture. I was going from place to place with my colleagues and with other driver. We were going from place to place, seeing, observing everything that was going on. So when we were returning, we began to see them counting the votes. And then after counting, if you could remember very well, maybe about 6, 7 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, after the whole thing, it rained in Ibadan, if you can remember very well.
I can't remember.
It rained, yes.
But I like that, your recollection of it is very sharp.
It rained and people began to say again, Omi Tutun. Everywhere was calm, everywhere was peaceful. I think that is the kind of thing that is about taking place now. I don't know if you've been experiencing this. I don't know the kind of air you've been breathing. I don't know the kind of breeze that have been blown towards the direction. Since this man was, made king, His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Akamu Ladoja
Arusa the First.
Arusa the First.
All right. That's a very strong note to start the conversation this afternoon. So, yes, definitely that's what we're talking about because this is a man of many facets, many parts. I think that's also, part of the reason why so many people are so, enthralled by his story and amazed, by the story. You rarely find people who, succeed in politics, have such a colorful story when it comes to politics, and also are still widely accepted as traditional rulers. For me, it's the general acceptance. It's like everyone is just happy to have both Ibadan indigenes and non-indigenes. Because it's not like me. I'm not from Ibadan, but I have lived in Ibadan for a while.
Neither am I.
And so it's just general. So but definitely that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, yesterday was the coronation of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. He's the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. Now, during the coronation, the president was around, President Bolanle Tinubu. The governor was there, of course, to hand the staff of office and the certificate. And they all said one thing or the other. So I want us to go on. And for our listeners, yes, we have our guest who will be joining us shortly via the telephone. Obviously, was one of the people who were very busy doing the up and down of the, during the coronation, and so couldn't make it here, couldn't join us physically, but we'll be talking to him over the phone, and I'll be revealing who our guest is in the course of the program. But we'll go on and listen to the what the Olubadan, said yesterday as he was, receiving the staff of office, when he received the staff of office and the certificate from the governor. Okay, so we'll go on and listen to that. We'll also listen to the governor's speech as well as the president's speech. So when we do that, we'll then come back and, continue the conversation. So please don't go away. It's Meet the Press on Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Ṣèyí Mákindé. Máa ń tọ́jú gómìnà Adeleke.
I recognize and thank specially Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. I say congratulations to all sons and daughters of Ibadan land at home and in diaspora. And I also want to say that today, all challenges associated with Ibadan Traditional Institution is now over and behind us. Níwájú gbogbo ayé àti níwájú Ọlọ́run. Hi, Engineer Ṣèyí Mákindé, the Governor of Oyo State of Nigeria, in exercise of the powers conferred upon me by subsections 1 and 2 of Section 20 of the Chief's Law, Cap 28, Volume 1, Laws of Oyo State of Nigeria 2000, and by virtue of all other powers enabling in that behalf, I hereby present the staff of office to Oba, His Imperial Majesty, my Baba, His Imperial Majesty Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusa the First. This is in confirmation of the partout recognized status of the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. I so present.
Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu, ẹ káàbọ̀. Wọ́n wá rán mi níṣẹ́ kan sí President o, Mr. President, wọ́n ní nítorí àwọn ológun ní Ìbàdàn State. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ìyẹn Ìbàdàn? Àfẹ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ before 2027 o. Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ rán mi nìyẹn. Èmi náà fúnra mi wá tún sọ fún àwọn ará Ìbàdàn pé nígbà tó lọ́n dá mi sí sí nítorí kò fi mi pé kí n máa sáà fún wọn. Gbogbo agbára mi dẹ̀ ni màá fi sáà fún wọn.
Let me salute and greet a renowned businessman, Lucky Imperial Majesty Oba Adewolu Ladoja Arusa the First. It's a big person, a great honor for me to be here as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to witness your coronation, to witness history. It's my prayer that you will live long and be celebrated as one of the rare gems of history to ascend the throne of your forefathers. Today, I'm honored and I'm very proud to give you the cheering news that the economy has turned the corner. There is a bright light at the end of the tunnel, but it's now returned to the moment of growth and prosperity is awaiting us ahead.
All right, you're welcome back to Meet the Press on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Now, we heard, the Olubadan, we can't keep saying new. We heard the Olubadan say that he promised, rather, to serve the people of Ibadan with, all of his might, And Also, there was something he told the president about the Ibadan state. Now, I read a write-up before we started the show, which I also shared with, or there's an opinion piece by Alhassan Abiodun titled Key Issues the New Olubadan Should Have Pressed President Tinubu On. Now, he said, while the, asking for or seeking for Ibadan state is not bad, he said, and I quote, that Ibadan needs not to be the one seeking a breakaway, but other regions like Okeogun, Ibarapa, Oyo, and Ogbomoso. He said this is reflected in the number of Ibadan indigenes that have held sway at the Agodi Government House against those from outside the city, and how the city's resources have benefited the city of Ibadan than other places. Now, to my fellow panelists, this is something that has been said time and time again, that when it comes to power in Oyo State,
Ibadan dominates.
Usually at the enjoyment part of it. So now, don't you feel, or do you feel that asking for Ibadan State, won't it, is it not also, maybe also good for the other parts, because it will also give them the space to shine? What's your, let's start from Mr. Chukwemeka.
Well, the way I look at it, if Ibadan is championing the cause of Ibadan State, I think it will benefit the other side also, because since they have been shouting that Ibadan is dominating them, now if Ibadan goes alone and stay on his own as a state, I think it will be time for them also to rise up to the occasion and be a state on their own, and also it will help to bring development closer to them. That's the way I see it. So it is not as if yes, I know why they are saying what they are saying, because Ibadan has benefited a lot from the maybe at the expense of other locations. But to me, let them go with what they have benefited, so that you people should also have time to benefit also when you become a state of your own. That's the way I see it.
Mr. Sanusi, do you feel that Ibadan asking for Ibadan, this is not new. It's not something. It's not new at all. It's from over the years. Yes, the CCI has been working actively, on this to achieve this. But still, that being that, is Ibadan ripe for Ibadan State?
I think Ibadan is overripe for Ibadan State. Like I usually tell people, there are places you go to today, maybe for an assignment of a project. You may never get there in the next 15 years again, except something takes you there. That is that's to tell you how big Ibadan is. There are places you have never been. There are places you were heard of. For example, about a few weeks ago, I was at a particular place, and they called the place Idiorobo. I have never heard it. What made me to know the place was the signboard. Yeah, it's an estate. What took me there, I don't know if the same thing will still take me there again in the next 5-10 years. So Ibadan is overripe to be alone, to become a state. And then if Ibadan becomes a state, every other small town around Ibadan can also remain independent, that can become independent, and they can shine. They can do whatever they want to do instead of writing letters, doing a amount of things before they take any step. Now they can personally take their steps, move forward, and do whatever they want to do. If Ibadan, though you asked a question a while ago that, okay, is it Ibadan that should be asking for such or other small towns? If other small towns ask for a request to be alone, it's still okay, because they become independent, and then they will do what? They will shine, they will grow, they will expand. And back to Ibadan, if Ibadan also requests for it, Ibadan is overripe for that, and then Ibadan has to stay alone so that capital can come under it. Then there will be development, there will be expansion. I see expansion. See expansion.
Now, amongst, also in this opinion piece, is the fact that the person said, wrote something. He said, he talked about the first leg of the dry port solution to ease the gridlock in Apapa and save the Apapa Oshodi to Lagos Ibadan routes from destruction, and then said if Oba Adewolu had asked for more funds for the Ibadan dry port, this would have not only improved the economy of the state, create more jobs, but more investments along the Ibadan Oyo corridors. Is this a job of the traditional ruler or the government?
It's not. The person is just putting putting a lot of things on his plate. It's not his job to be asking for those things. The only thing I know that he has a lot of influence to bring a turnaround is what he said concerning drug addiction in the Oduekun-Ayoola in Ibadan here. He can make that one happen. You understand? He can use his influence as the Oba in and he can give instruction to his lieutenants and things will be carried out. But when it comes to issue of economy and everything, his hands are tied. To some extent, it is the job of the governor to do those ones. He can only support, and his influence can help make it happen. But it's not his forte to say such.
You mean the king Olubadan shouldn't have?
No, I didn't say.
The person that wrote this opinion.
Yes, I feel.
I didn't say.
Before you also talk, the person went further to say that he could also have urged the president to fast track federal funding for the National Climate Change Adaptation Plan.
You can't go into those areas.
I think the reason this guy made this statement is because Ladoja is a man of the people. Not only the people, he's a man of many parts, man of the government. Something tells you something. For a president to attend the occasion, then something tells you that yes, we about to set for a great change, about to set for a great what the governor may not be able to bring in, what the governor may not be able to achieve. I think Olubadan is ready to achieve it because of the connection, the relationship between the Olubadan of Ibadan and then the president. I think that is what we should look into. So he can fast track it. He can table a lot of things on behalf of the government.
He can work hand in hand with the government. He can work hand in hand,
but it is just like he said. It is not in his office to
make such demand.
It is when it comes to development, when it comes to amenities, it is
the government,
the state government.
But if the government and the traditional ruler can liaise together, why not?
All right. Now it's at this point that I'll, let out the name of who our guest is going to be on the show. He's actually joining us at 3:00. Our guest today is Chief to some, comrade to some. So which do we stick with? Let's stick with Chief since we're in we're in the coronation mode. So our guest today is Chief Ayode Solomon Olugbemiga, a one-time NUJ chairman and also the chief press secretary to the late Olubadan of Ibadan, the one who just passed on. That's Oba Oduekun-Ayoola. Yes, and apparently still in the know of how things are still going in this current administration. So we'll take a short break to get our guests online, and then when we come back, we'll have our guests right with us. Please stay tuned. Is it going out? Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, let's call him back. Ekason, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Láti Wells Radio 89.3 FM, Nisa. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Just before we called you, I introduced you, as a one-time NUJ chairman and also the chief press secretary to the late Olubadan, Oba Oduekun-Ayoola. You're welcome to the show once again. Thank you so much, sir.
Speak louder.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you now.
Okay, sir. So I said you're welcome to the show. We're a panel and we have a couple of questions, that we'll just be asking you about, the Olubado and, his tenure as a governor. Okay, so are you good to go, sir? All right, sir.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
I'm ready for you. Yes.
Okay, sir. We thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak with you from this end. Sir, can you tell us what are let's go on with this question. We have His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Akomu Ladoja on the throne right now. And he has been described in so many ways by so many people from so many quarters as a man of peace and simplicity. What are your expectations? What should Ibadan people expect during his tenure as the Oba or as the Olubado of Ibadan?
Thank you very much. His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Akomu is a king with a difference. It's a king with difference in the sense that he has what we can describe as accumulated experiences. One, he served as the Senator, Federal Republic of Nigeria, without blemish. He equally served as the Executive Governor of Oyo State, without blemish. Baba climbed 32 ladders from Magaji to Olubadan before he was enthroned yesterday. Baba is a business guru. He has many companies to his credit. So this is the kind of Oba we are looking for in Ibadan. And the expectation of the people is very high. Like Baba said yesterday, when he requested from President Tinubu, the first thing I want is Ibadan State. Baba wants improved economy. The people are expecting Baba to promote security in Oyo State. People are expecting Baba to stop the land grabbers. Baba has many things in store for us. In actual fact, he said yesterday that the time of accumulation of wives, property have gone. What we have on the table now is hard work. How to make Ibadan progressive. How to make Yoruba united. How to promote peaceful coexistence. And how to improve economy and promotion, preservation of our cultural values, among others.
Thank you, sir. So my question is this. You've been a journalist for a while. Can you tell us your own account? We know that.
I cannot hear you well.
Okay, sir. Being a journalist for a long time, for a while now, can you tell us your own account, of what happened when the Olubado now, when, he was governor then, why he was impeached and what followed after?
Your question again, as I cannot hear you.
Okay, sir. I'm saying that when he was governor and impeached, as a journalist during that time, can you give us your own account of the events that happened then?
Thank you very much. When he served as the governor, Governor Adewolu Ladoja is a round peg in a round hole. Let me tell you this. By then, I was a director at Oyo State Civil Service, and Ladoja paid our salary as at Wendy. I was the first governor to give us 30 months. What we call 30 months is that at any December, we will add a month's salary to our salary. The last time he gave to us, Governor Kala came and we do it from us. He said it was a loan given to all workers in the health state. If we do it, he collected the money. In the education, it was Bolanle that said there should be 30 students in a class. He built many schools. He recruited teachers. What we have now, all the companies have this like him, like a juice company at Ogbomoso, like Alfred company at Elebada, like water pump industry at Mania, all are gone. No one has come to improve on it. So, Oba Ladoja, when he served as the governor, he has many things to discredit.
Thank you, sir. So the question is, in your own account, as at that time, what led to the impeachment?
You say?
What led to the impeachment?
The last time the governor was impeached, what led to it, sir?
Thank you. I think I can go.
Hello, sir. No, we're still with you. I think the network is bad. Can you hear me now, sir? Okay.
Okay. The question is this, sir. When he was impeached, can you give us account of what really played out?
When he was a kid.
When he was impeached.
When power was taken away from him.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. When he was wickedly removed.
Yes.
I won't say he was impeached.
Okay.
Because it is not members of House of Assembly that removed him.
Okay.
It was members of NURTW, whereby the Baba Malese and Elewe. And that is the reason why the Supreme Court returned him, that he was removed illegally.
Okay.
The whole Ibadan was a mourning period. All Ibadan indigenous, daughters and sons, who are sad. Because we saw Ladoja as the Messiah for us. He was cruelly and wickedly removed. And by over ambition of Governor Akana, his deputy, they collaborated. They conspired against him. But see what God has done now. The man that was wickedly removed was returned. Not only that, it's not the Olubadan of Ibadan lands. So during his removal, things turned upside down. Those that came after him, they did not perform like him in the sense that they did not love mercy. Majority of them, they think that they thought of what they could do for themselves and their family. But Governor Ladoja was and is a man of the people. So his removal was like you are removing shelters over the people and allow them, you allow the rain and the sun to beat them. And now we are fully happy. The man is back. The man has been promoted. How would you rate it for the president of Nigeria? Because they are installing a king. He left Abuja with very long entourage yesterday. And here we are. We are very happy.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Chief Ayoade Solomon. We still in the euphoria of that celebration of the His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Akamolodoja, the Arusa 1, the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. Everybody's happy. The whole town is happy. Now, you made us to understand that there were many things in place when he was in power. Some things were happening, some things were created, which were later, retrieved for him. My question now is it possible for Olubada of Ibadan now to still walk around those things and bring them back to work? Is it possible for him to liaise with the government and bring those things to work? Is it possible, sir?
Is it possible for what?
For the things that were cancelled years back to return to Ibadan and start working again?
I cannot hear
No,
you.
the question is this, those things that he had a hand in establishing, and you said that they are no longer around. Can his coming again make those things to be resuscitated?
That
Like yes, the thing he did in LA. Yeah.
I am around.
Okay.
I served the chief secretary.
Okay.
Everybody of Ibadan land, not to individual.
Okay.
However, the king has power to restate or to remove. So it is when he is deemed guilty that he will do whatever he likes.
Excuse me, sir.
The chief secretary to Ibadan of Ibadan land.
Okay, Chief Ayode Solomon. The question is this: he established some things in Obomosho. You mentioned something about juice industry, and he did something again in LA here, in Ibadan here. Now the question is, you said that those things are no longer working. Can his second coming make those things to be revived again?
You say?
Can you mentioned something about what he did in Obomosho in the area of juice, and what he did in LA here in Ibadan, and those things are no longer working. Can his second coming make those things to bounce back to life?
Yes.
Okay.
That
How?
is one of the works.
Okay.
About Shiri Adewolu Ladoja, His Imperial Majesty is coming to do. He has come to revive all the moribund projects in collaboration for everybody. Thank God, Makinde is his daughter, is his son. Makinde himself said, I wear beads and I put this colorful clothes because I'm now a priest. My father has been enthroned as the Olubada of Ibadan land. So, working with Makinde, it is possible to bring back the lost glory of Ibadan and to revive the moribund project.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to bring your attention to something that happened yesterday. Before we talk about it, I want you to give us your opinion about it. Many journalists have complained about how they were treated at the event yesterday. You were at the event, sir.
Many are complaining that
many journalists have complained that they were not treated well during the coverage of that event.
Thank you, my sister. If they are complaining, that complaint should go to the coronation committee. Obaladoja gave them free hands, and they were not hindered by anything. If the journalists are complaining, it is not the fault of Obaladoja. They should direct their questions to the chairman coronation committee, that is Chief Bayo Oyero and his committee.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Lastly, the song, the artist that performed yesterday at the coronation, I'm sure you've seen the videos going round.
You say?
The artist that performed at the coronation yesterday.
The musician.
The musician. Olórin tó kọrin lánàá níbi the musician Taye Currency that sang yesterday at the coronation. What is your view on that, song that he sang, which many people have said that was not fit for that occasion?
Well, it depends on them. It depends on them. Because, once they were on the stage, They think they can say anything they like. As I'm not condemning him, I think there should be little modification. There should be. So if people are complaining about him, it depends on the way they see him. I'm not there for meetings. I'm there for the news. I'm there. I was there for you, my people, journalists, my colleagues. So other things are secondary.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your contributions to the show today.
Just a pleasure.
All right, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Yeah.
And that was our guest. We're sorry that we had to cut it short. Obviously, the network is not being very fair to us this afternoon. So we just had to cut it short. But our guest has been Chief Solomon Oduekun-Ayoola, the Chief Press Secretary to the Olubadan. As he has said, he's still the Chief Press Secretary to the Olubadan because he didn't serve an individual. He served the palace. So while we wait for the Olubadan currently to create his own cabinet, as it were. Now, I want us to go back. Welcome, Mr. Gbenga to the show. I want us to go back to something that I talked about earlier, which is the way pressmen were treated at that event. Now, I was there, so I have a first-hand account, but I won't even take my account. I'll take the account of two journalists who were also at that event. I'm going to read what they said. I did try to reach out to the number one journalist in Ibadan here, Chief Demola Babalola, but apparently he's at an event and we couldn't talk so that we could get his own opinion on it. But I'll take this. This person said, "My smile wasn't genuine." She snapped a picture at the coronation where she was smiling. She said, my smile wasn't genuine. Why? The handling of the press during the coronation of Oba Rashidi Ladoja as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan fell far below standard and was one of the most difficult experiences I've encountered in covering such events. We were harassed by security officials and some of the organizers just for doing our job. For print journalists, the experience was even more frustrating, especially those forced to depend on their phones to capture footage. We were treated with disdain. Despite the challenges faced, I ensured a thorough and robust report of the coronation for Premium Times. The organizers could have done better. That is one account. Now, let me take the second account as well, also from a broadcast journalist this time around. Now, the person said, okay, here it is. The person said, "Yeah, we've done the Olubadan's coronation and we are all happy in Ibadan for what happened yesterday, and forever we'll all be in happiness. But can we quickly talk about the way and manner in which security personnel harass, rough handle, and embarrass journalists? It didn't start this way, or should I say, I didn't experience this in the past. In the case of the COVID-19 period in Nigeria, where lockdown was declared and enforced by the government and security personnel respectively with journalists' pass and press ID cards, there was no issue like the one we witnessed during the by-elections in August and the coronation yesterday. With the press tags issued by the coronation committee and the press ID cards from the government, all explanations and evidence provided was falling on deaf ears of the security personnel. Maybe they had forgotten as they were posted to do their jobs over there, so are the journalists there to carry out their duties. If we agree that it's because the presidential team took over the activities there yesterday, what about the Ibadan North by-election? As for me, if the tag provision won't be useful for journalists, maybe we should stop wasting our little resources so we will know that it's our guest artist at the coronation slang we will follow." Mosoyi Moduro no. That's from a fellow colleague as well on the matter yesterday.
Well, it's so pathetic that we could be hearing such a report after the coronation yesterday, because journalists, they are a set of people that they should be accorded respect anytime, any day, whenever there's an event of such magnitude. And I think I watched at home yesterday, and I saw on the TV how some of those security personnel, how they were pushing and shunning and turning back some of those journalists. And I saw some of them, they put their ID card on their neck, and they're trying to show the the security men, as in they were attending to them. And I could see the man telling him, like two of them, one SSS, DSS, and one security personnel, telling them to just go back. And at the point they were pushing them, and I was like, this is not done anywhere. Actually, they came to cover the event, and they will give us that are back home report of what really, how the coronation went. And I think the deed has been done. So I think the committee should apologize to the journalists that came to cover the event yesterday, and they should work well and to ensure that on subsequent occasion of that magnitude, journalists should be treated very well and with utmost respect, because it's not easy for a journalist to just leave the comfort of his office, go to such a occasion venue, and under the sun you'll be there. If it's raining, you'll be there, because they have to cover every bit of the event. So this is a clarion call to the organizers of that event yesterday, that they should reach out to our journalists, appeal to them, and try and if there's any way they can maybe appeal to their interest, so that in a subsequent event like that magnitude, journalists can be well treated.
I think I don't think it is the organizers. Well, the organizers may tender an apology, but they didn't send those security operatives to behave that way. I think it's the training, the bad training they have, that is making them to act outside their rule of engagement. It's not the organizers' fault. The organizers will never tell them to go and harass journalists. So they even, what they did even affected the organizers, even put them on a bad spot. You understand? It is the DSS and the out of overzealousness, they do a lot of things they are not sent to do. Maybe to please those who sent them. But that is wrong, and that's why I keep saying there is need for training and retraining. And many of these security operatives are emotionally illiterate. They don't know how to relate with people. Yeah, they don't know how to relate with people. When they wear that uniform or carry that toy gun or everything, they feel that they're on top of the world.
It's not a toy.
Call it a toy gun. Don't call it a toy gun.
Yeah, when they carry gun and everything, they feel they're on top of the world. They can do and undo. It's wrong. If they are emotionally intelligent, they should know how to relate with the public.
This is my take.
So it is their failing. It's not a failure of those that organize.
Okay, so let me butt in a bit. I listened keenly to what transpired yesterday, and when Obalaja was given was asked to sit down and address the people that were at the event, he said something. A DSS was trying to maybe to assault one of the king's men there, and Obalaja was telling that man, Baba put the mic very close to his mouth. He said, "Come on, stop it, stop that. Who are you? Don't harass that man." I heard Obalaja saying that.
Okay.
He said, "Don't harass that man. Who are you?" Those are the two statements he made. So I saw that, and I was telling my wife yesterday. I said, "Look at what these people are doing." So I think if you can, we cannot go and meet the security personnel to apologize to. I know.
They should be trained.
So I think that should be addressed. I support the fact that they should be trained. There is room for training and retraining of personnel.
Imagine the Imperial Majesty saying that.
Yes,
in a crowd.
I heard that. He said, "Who are you? Don't embarrass him." I heard that statement. So I think our security personnel as well, I think they have to be cautious in dealing with journalists, because journalists are not mere men. They are not mere passers-by. They came there invited. And there's no radio station in Ibadan, even both radio, television, and print media that were not at the event yesterday. Even outside the Ibadan, they came just to cover and report to the masses. So I think I would like to appeal to our security agencies as well, that they should please never treat our journalists anyhow. They should not treat them in disdain. They should give them utmost respect that they deserve.
See, there's this power intoxication that usually affects people. Once you give anybody a dot of power, he or she will want to do more than the required assignment. I think that is what usually happens to this, government. Not government now, the security personnel. That is my take. Once they're in uniform, anybody in power want to showcase something.
Not everybody.
No, most people. No, check around.
Some people.
Some people. Most
intelligent. They won't do it.
Most people want to say, okay, I'm in charge. I want to do that. I have to do this because there'll be even ordinary security man without a gun, just uniform, not. In fact, let me call it kids. He will still harass you and say, okay, this is your boundary. This is what you're not supposed to do. They can even go slapping. So I feel they should let them know the kind of assignment being given to them. They should be reorientated before.
They should be civil.
Before giving them any assignment.
And be more cautious.
Now, I was at the event yesterday, so I'll give you a first-hand account.
Okay.
So apparently, when we got there some minutes to 7, and we were able to come in. We weren't exactly sure where in Pressman we're going to stay. So those who were for radio stations who had their set up, their little tent and all that, they were set up down. But on the stage, obviously we then had those who wanted to deal with video.
Okay.
The first issue we had was that the podium was here, right? And nobody was allowed to set up on the other side.
Okay.
And you know that when you're capturing for video, if the person speaking is down here, you have to be up there so that you can get them, full on. So that was the first issue that we had. The second issue then was that I guess journalists looked around and said, okay, what can we do? Where's the best place that we can set up? And so we decided to move to a side. If I read this correctly, the left side of the stage, decided to move to the left side of the stage and then turn the cameras such that you can pick the dignitary seated opposite, but you can also pick whoever is sitting, at least from a sort of a side view.
Yeah.
Now, we had international stations there, the ones with the very big cameras, but we know that journalism has gone digital.
Sure.
So we also had people with their phones and their tripods. And so just like we went there, Wells TV. And then it first started with, obviously, you can't come on the stage if you don't have a press pass, which, made a lot of sense before the event started. If you don't have a press pass, you can't come up stage. Then it started with subtle, threats. That's what I put it. Subtle form of harassment, like, you people should leave there now. Leave there now, And then some of us tried having conversations to say, what do you mean by leave here? We are here to work. You understand? So if we live here, how do we work? How do we do what we want to do? It progressed from there to, you people should move back, and those with camera said, my guy, if you move close to my camera, we'll have an issue, so that was another, kept telling people to move, and we can't, move back, more than this. This is a very good, this is a good market. This is a good place to stay, and film and all that. We also had that. Worthy of note is that there were 1 or 2 reporters for a particular brand, obviously I won't mention the brand, who were physically assaulted.
Wow.
That's it.
2 journalists.
At least one. The other was, running ahead of the guy, who were physically assaulted. I was standing. I just sort of, when you hear people are running, and you just turn. People parted, on the stage, and I just saw the security official give him a serious slap at the back of his head.
That's it. You understand? That's why I said there's need for these people to be trained and retrained to be civil. Many of them don't understand how to relate to the public. Many of them, they don't. They see, when you hold a hammer, everything becomes a nail. You be kicking everybody. We have gone beyond that. And the international communities are looking at us. You see, you begin to wonder, what kind of human beings are these? And thank God they didn't even spoil the show as yesterday. Imagine if those journalists had slapped back and there's a
it would have been a
different thing.
It would have been a free for all.
And the thing is that the our guys in the office that told them to come for the event. I think they didn't. I knew that it would have told them to be more very much cautious and civil.
I support Mr. Mario. You know why? Because also from my vantage point of where I was standing, you know that people came out to watch. I mean, Ibadan indigenes came out to watch. So they were behind a barricade, and some just before that roundabout, there was no barricade there, but sort of like an invisible line for people to, And so at some point, people how people can be. They were pushing from the back, and so people sort of went over that line, and some security officials then took Koboko to try to put them in place, but the people of Ibadan did not stand for that. They got really annoyed, and said, if you want to talk to us, if you want to tell us to move back, say it yes, don't use, we're not children.
Exactly.
And when the people also didn't take that behavior from them, I guess their bosses who were ground also then came and said we're sorry, we apologize.
That's what I'm saying. That was the reason why I said their boss didn't give them the power, the authority to unleash their power on innocent people that were there yesterday. Imagine them using Koboko, and it's not. What of if somebody is having an underlying ailment? I use Koboko on that person, and the person slum and die. What will happen? So I think it's high time our security agents should be called to order, so that we wouldn't like to record such an occurrence again whenever we're having an event of that magnitude. And as well, I wanted to say, you see, the job of a journalist is different from the job of a security personnel. The journalists are there to cover what is happening and to show those that are home that are watching. Maybe they will put it on the pages of their
and also to help keep records.
Exactly. And second, the police officers or the DSS, they are there to maintain orderliness. This is a two different thing. And I say in Yoruba that whatever, how did they say it? That means somebody, if you are doing your own job, you cannot debar another person from doing his own job. It's a two different thing. And as well, I still have to go back to the organizer of that event. The reason is this: I would have expected them to have told the journalists that will be there that this is your own area in which you are going to cover the event, such that the area from that spot assigned to them, they'll be able to see every nooks and crannies of that environment. At least they used drone yesterday now.
No, drones were not permitted. There was a drones were not allowed. Let me make you laugh. There was a particular guy. Okay. There was a particular guy who, after they had said it several times, don't fly drones. Don't fly drones, especially close to when the president was supposed to be around. Don't fly drones. This guy went ahead to fly a drone, and his drone was seized. I don't even know if he got his drone back. And honestly, I don't feel sorry for him, because we were told, we had been instructed, don't fly drones.
Okay. Well, maybe flying drones might portray kind of security threat.
Yes, it could be a security. Now, moving to what you said about the organizers, I know that was the consensus among journalists around yesterday. They said we should have had press boxes on either side of the stage, such that cameramen, it's a good vantage point for everyone, and it wouldn't have interfered, because at some point we then started hearing, please get down if you're on this stage and you have no business here, or if you're on this stage and you're not carrying a camera. That was what it resulted to at the end. If you're on this stage and you're not carrying a camera, please get out, because the stage is shaking. At that point I go down. But I must say kudos to the person who did that stage. Very strong, and nothing went wrong. But these things that we're saying are very real, and it's not just about the coronation. Just like the other person that sent the other colleague whose opinion I read, the person pointed back to the elections, and I know that I was telling someone yesterday that the security personnel are around yesterday, because apparently we had, when people said DSS will be around, hey, this one, when they come they won't even hear what you want to say. I must say again, a little bit to some of them, some of them were very cautious. They were very courteous, spoke with us well, tried to have dialogue. That was when we started. When the event, before the president came, before the president and the governor came, they tried to be courteous, to say, let's agree. This is where you people will stay. This is where, in fact, we're the ones that showed them that okay, these are the two tags that are applicable to journalists here. So it's if you don't see these tags, yes, that you can, tell them to get down. They even said, but it's only the cameras. We told them, no, Ibadan has over 60 radio stations. Yes. We have to be here as well, and all of that. And so I must commend some of them. They were courteous, both men of the DSS, the police, and all that. And I must say that there was a big difference between the first men who were here during the by-elections and the ones that came yesterday. The ones that came yesterday were friendlier. During the by-elections, it was something else. We had the tags, but we still had to talk before they allowed us to move from one place to another. So I think generally it's about the regard of law enforcement for journalists. We are saying that journalists are not beggars. We're not thugs and touts. We're there to work.
I disagree with you. It's about training, exposure. Look at those ones that came from Abuja, that came with the president. Look at how cautious they were. But the ones that are here, the local ones that are here, were the ones that made it difficult for you people at doing the
in our own place. Then over the years, journalists have always been, assaulted and beaten or punished over the year. It happens all the time. What has been done to the ones that were dealt with in the past? Nothing has been done.
But not in this kind of environment where coronation, peaceful thing. When you talk about riots, during the time of riot or demonstration or protest, that's a different thing. Any journalist can be assaulted.
It's because the environment is hostile at that time.
I've been assaulted severally, even when I was writing for a print media. But it was always during the time of protest or demonstration, because they don't know who is who. That time they are
on high alert.
Yes, you understand. But not a place like coronation of a king, where nobody's rioting, nobody's doing anything.
For majority, we just come there to watch.
Yes.
How many people? It's only few people that are there to work. The journalists, the security men, and co. But from another angle, have you ever taken time to look at the appearances of some journalists?
What do you mean appearances?
The way you appear.
What do you mean by the way they appear?
The way they dress?
Yes, the way sometimes do you know? See,
this job has not dressed.
Our job.
Let me come back. Let me bring this up. We're in Yoruba land. We're in Africa.
Are they supposed to wear agbada tomorrow?
They may not wear agbada, but there are ways you can package. There are ways you can package and appear, sir. There are ways you can package. See, do you know that? Okay, I read something in the Bible. It said even a fool is judged wise when he's silent and keep quiet. That means a fool is being identified by the word of his mouth and then by the way he appears.
Okay,
I've seen a madman being dressed.
Let
me land. I've seen a madman, chronically mad, in white agbada, dressed and put at the back of a car. They went to a car dealer and they said, we want to price this car. We want to know how much the price is. Our guy is even in the car now and he wants to test it. Our guy is in the car, sedated. They tested the car, drove the car away. They left a guy in the car, a madman in white agbada. It was when they got there later, they found out that, we didn't know. So, he was respected. Why? Because of his costume. So, as a journalist, if you don't package, if you don't appear well, if you don't package yourself well, even the way you take your steps at time, okay, you can't be dragging your feet on the floor and you expect people to respect you.
Excuse me, sir.
It's not possible.
Excuse me, sir.
If I come to you, and I match you, somebody else drags his feet, which one will you respect?
Excuse me, sir.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Are they supposed to wear agbada or bead?
Not. See, a journalist is not supposed to, but I mean, a journalist should appear neat everywhere he or she finds himself.
What do you mean by neat?
I'm just trying to balance this. I'm not saying that is what happened, but I'm just trying to balance these things.
Wait. What do you mean by a journalist should appear neat?
I'm coming. Let me.
They didn't go there in a mechanic as uniform.
When the journalist,
mind you, do we have uniform? This job has no dress code.
See,
so Mr. it is not, sir.
There are some people that will knock at this place. They will even ask them when they are looking.
Let me.
Mr. Mario talk then.
Please. The point is this. See, the event of such a magnitude, of such magnitude. Forget about the way you dress. Even if you're a journalist, even if you are well kitted, if you wore your suit, even if your suit it's an Italian suit, and you are even able to speak good Queen's English
And King is
and see, those security guys they don't send you because the person you are even talking to, you as well speaking your Queen's English
You will be angry.
and if you're angry and is even communicating with you in what they call pidgin language.
You won't consider speak
I'm telling you. So your Queen's English, your King's English, and your Italian suit is nothing to them.
Let me also say that when it comes to coverage of events outside, we go for comfort. I know that yesterday I left. We had to get to the venue around 6. So around past 6. So I had to, I was thinking to myself when I woke up to say, what am I going to wear? My go-to is jeans and my, my office T-shirt to identify myself, apart from my ID card. But yesterday I was like, it's a traditional event. I don't want to go with jeans and top. And I started to think, what the first thing that came to my mind, the first criteria was comfort. For me, I think of comfort first. I think of what happens if there's a riot and I have to run.
You won't run. And you are a very slim person and you want to run out.
So that's affected my choice of clothing. I obviously couldn't go there in a rambuba or a fitted gown. So I had to wear a loose gown with pockets so I could keep my phones, to ensure I don't lose anything. And then sandals, because I felt sandals would be easier to lift if I have to run. That's the safety is first in my mind. Now, but I also agree with Mr. Sanusi. Yesterday at the event, and if you're this journalist and you're listening, well, I'm not calling you out, but the truth is the truth. It's the truth, rather. Now, I saw someone who, went there, and I saw several people, but for this lady, her cleavage was severely exposed. She was wearing a top and jeans and then slippers, and her cleavage was severely exposed. In fact, to me, when I saw her on the stage, I was like, what's this person? This person has no business on the stage, because I thought she was a call girl.
Yes, no, that's wrong.
It was later, apparently the tag had gone to the back.
Okay.
So I didn't see the tag initially. It was later I saw the tag and I said, so this person is one of us. And that's where I agree with Mr. Sanusi. We also see some of our colleagues who, when we go out to, cover events, don't wear, let's say the official wear. Many of us have these press jackets. We have our ID cards. Yeah. Many of us have clothes, T-shirt, round necks that identify us with the organization we work with. Wear it, for goodness sakes. So that if at all you are then harassed, whoever it is that harasses you or tries to harass you cannot say that they're not aware. Speak well. You don't want to go to an event, for example, yesterday's event, and then when the artist who sang, was singing, you're dropping exclusive dance steps, so I'm not saying don't have fun, because again, our job is a delicate one.
No, but you go there to dance.
Exactly.
Did you go there to dance?
So as much as possible, our job doesn't have any dress code. It's all about comfort and how you can. Because I saw someone who wore suits. This is suits we are talking about. And when she was tired of standing, because we stood for so long, I still have the soles of my feet are still in pain. She joined the rest of us to also sit down on the stage while we were waiting for the governor and the president. We had been standing since about to 7. So sometimes even when you wear all this suit and co, it will even debar you from doing your job.
Well, let me also talk about the issue of that dressing up a thing, because I watched everything yesterday. I watched on the TV. There was a senator representing him. I don't know where he's representing, but I know he is in Ibadan here. And he wanted to represent us at COM. He had seated, and he wanted to maybe go and say hello to Mr. President. And with the way he dressed, even that this one is not Mugbamoya of a thing. This man is well respected, and even with his attire and everything, the security man, he was trying to whisper to the ears of the security man, and the DSS was telling him to, Oga, move back.
He wouldn't have been allowed.
He wouldn't have been allowed.
No, I know. I'm just talking about.
So you're saying talk less of someone who was not properly dressed.
Yes, that's what I'm. Even someone went back behind the stage to beat the security team and say hello to to the governor. And they went to the man, looking at the way he dressed. It was, that this one is one of the notable people in town. and he was not allowed. So talking about dress of a thing, when it comes to an event of such magnitude, dressing is out of it. I'm telling you. So
now, finally, as we have just about 15 minutes left. The artists at the event yesterday.
Fine. I've been waiting for that.
I mean, we're not going to repeat his lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a wholesome station, and we do not stand for music like that. But I'm sure you've all seen the videos by now. And this artist is not someone who is new to us. Well, he's not someone who is new to people in Ibadan. Yes, because he's synonymous with, music in Ibadan. Now, many have called him out for singing such a song. But it wasn't only that song. Before there were so many other songs.
Yes.
And the transition of songs. When he finished singing, the video making rounds, as I said in one video I made today, the video's making the rounds. When he finished that part, and then he said, La do jao. Do you know what song he went to? He then went to Olorun Baba Lola. And my man, I'm like, how does it work?
Nice.
Now let's talk about
Fine.
that.
Thank you very much. Let me come in from this angle. By God's grace, I'm an artist. I'm a singer.
We know that.
You sing one track for us before you leave today.
We sing.
There's no Saturdays that I will not go out for shows. And I was wondering yesterday that, with respect to Chief Tayo Currency, Baba Honorable, I had expected that we have Saheed Osupa should have been on ground, but later I heard that he's not in Nigeria as at yesterday. As well, this man, Merengue, yes, Merengue. I forgot his name, Merengue. Now, I had expected that he should also be on ground.
Merengue.
And but both of them were not on ground. But like I said, Osupa is out of town. Rashidi Ayinde, thank you very much. And some other Fuji artists like that. But Tayo Currency was the only person on ground. And in music, whenever you are singing, your song must correlate with the event that you went for. It's like you are going for you went for sing at an occasion where they are doing a wedding ceremony, and you are singing about death. It doesn't correlate. You understand? And I was looking at the verses of the song he was singing yesterday. I was looking at the instrumentation. I was looking at the adjusters, the slangs and everything. At the point in time, he was doing very well, wonderfully well, and I was even nodding my head in accordance with the right song he was singing. But at the point when he mentioned some song, when he sang some songs and he made some statement, at the point I could not figure out the correlation between the songs he was singing. And we should not forget that we should not forget the fact that the event was being aired across the globe yesterday. Many people watch the event, and there was, when I opened my phone last night, I saw backlash on Tayo Currency based on the song he sang. And I think look at this guy, Bolanle Ayoola. I respect the guy so much. Well composed, and if you hear his lyrics, I hear a lot of songs, because as a musician you have to listen to various genres of songs. But Bolanle Ayoola is someone that whenever I listen to his song, I'll bring out my pen and book. That was something I'll jot down. I went for an event, I think two weeks ago, and I've been singing, and people I just knew they were seated and they were dancing. At the point I was like, what kind of song can I sing that will make these people to rise up and dance? Immediately I sang Bolanle Ayoola song. I sang the track from the beginning to the end. Come and see how. In fact, the morning that I was being sprayed, within that few minutes that I sang that song, it was widely accepted.
You didn't bring some for us.
I'm telling you,
this we can do. I didn't bring it.
So after the show, you will take us out.
Okay.
So you can see. So I think the point is this: how do we ensure that such mistake did not occur again whenever we have such an event of that magnitude? The point is this: let's have some other musicians as well that will team up. Because you'll be like, Tayo Currency comes, maybe he sings for 10 minutes.
If he veers off, they can bring another
exactly. Osupa comes, he sings for 10 minutes. The 3D Leather comes, Merengue comes, and the people will choose their own genres, because they have that. Look at this guy as well. This guy, I forgot his name because I'm not used to him. I forgot him. If I remember, I'll tell you. Now you can see. So people will tap from every of the artists, because Osupa has his own fans. Thai Currency has, of course, he's a good singer. He has his own fans, and some of the merengue has his own fans. So by the time you come there to sing, when you sing to your fans will, as in they will rise and dance to the song you are singing. But we see in the situation whereby we have just a single person singing. What do you expect?
Well, I don't have anything to say about it because I don't understand the Yoruba language.
I just got to know that Saheed Osupa's Stadium Papa was not in the country. I didn't know. Even Rashidi Ayinde, I didn't know he was not.
No, Rashidi Ayinde was in town, but later I learned that he will perform.
I think some of them performed at the stadium.
Yeah. They performed elsewhere.
Okay.
But he was around.
So I feel, should I say, for Thai Currency to have performed there was political? I should put it that way. I don't want to say more than that. It's political. Then anything Ibadan is doing, anything Ibadan is hosting, we also know that Saheed Osupa has the word, he has the language, he has the prestige. I've gone to cover an event before when the Ibadan people were having something to do at this whatever. He was the one that came to perform because he has the language and he did it. So, and then just like Mario said, if you want to cover an event, you want to go for an event, you study the event first. I anchor events. I'm a master of ceremony. The first thing I do when I get to a hall, I see how the hall is arranged. Then I liaise with the DJ or the band. His name, I get his name. Then what are we doing? Is it wedding? Is it burial? Is it birthday? So I know I already shift my brain to the side of the language I'm going to be using. Then I look at the audience too. If I go to host or anchor reunion for schools, I know the kind of language I'm going to use. Maybe it's university or secondary school that are doing. I know the kind of language. If somebody is having an 80th birthday or 100th birthday, I know the kind of language I'm going to use. I think this is what Taye should have. He's a good guy. People have been listening to him. He has his fans. He stays just as that sharp corner. I know he's out. But I think he should have thought deeply on the caliber of people that are coming. Not only youth. Even if he's going to sing for the youth, it should be very, very mild. You know, the president is there, governors are there, chiefs are there, represent Abba.
Now, for me, I'll take a different perspective.
Okay.
And this is my perspective. We say that the lyrics, basically what he said was, you use madness to cure madness. We say that, these lyrics are bad for a certain, they're bad to be sung in front of a certain caliber of people. But don't we think that they're actually bad to be sung in the presence of anybody?
Anybody, yeah. What is bad?
You know that as a country, for example, every time we do perspectives here, we come, Chukwemeka, says this from time to time, that our values are being eroded on a daily basis. It also comes from music. I wish that, people listening could see this from the lens of where I see it from. A lot of our artists these days sing vulgar lyrics. I was at a children's birthday and somebody was singing, they were playing Naira Marley's song, and a father was teaching his son how to dance to that song. Imagine. My spirit was grieved.
Imagine.
I took my children and I got out. Because I can't imagine having my children listen to these songs, dance these songs. And you know the thing about music. One of these artists in Nigeria, Afropop, we say Afropop or Afro, I don't even know which Afro. Afrobeat said, and he put it in pidgin, music no need permission to enter your spirit. And there are no lies about it. Because when you keep singing the lyrics, you internalize it and you start doing what they tell you to do. Exactly. So when you sing songs about teenage pregnancy, you sing songs about drugs, you sing songs about, doing 419, you sing songs about stealing, you sing songs about corruption. That is what you see begin to manifest in our young people. And so for me, I think that so I think that now that we're realizing that it's not just that some songs are not good to be sung to some people, we need to take the conscious effort as a people, and this goes to the government. Music also for these events. Then you need to ensure that whoever you're bringing to perform has good values and is singing songs that are morally right.
Music is very powerful.
Very, very
if you
powerful.
see somebody that is listening to reggae, by his dressing, by his vocabulary, you will know. If you see somebody that is a Fuji person, you will know. If you see somebody that is addicted to disco, you will know. If you see somebody that is into rock, you will know. By their dressing, by their language, music is very powerful. It gets into you. Michael Jackson, one of his lyrics said, "Let the madness in the music get to you," and you know that song. Let the madness in the music get to you, and just keep me off the wall, off the wall, off the wall. Let the madness in the music get to you. There's something in it.
That must be one of his old tracks. We know Billie Jean because it's our age.
Anyways, sorry, on a lighter mood, I want to make this passionate appeal to the new Olubadan Oba Adewolu Ladoja. After leaving the studio this morning, I was going to Omi to get some stuff, and there is, like I said in the morning, after Lade, there is this pothole along the road that was severely damaged, and there was a lot of hold-up there. Even if you have to plunge your car into that, into that, let me call it dungeon, that hole, even no matter how careful you are, your app must have a scratch or whatever. And this morning I went there and my car had an issue, and I could not even go to Omi. I had to turn back. I went to gate to fix the car. And that was the reason why I came here. And while coming back, I discovered that the wheel was not even set and the lights. And the point is, I want to make is this. I want to make a passionate appeal to His Royal Majesty, His Imperial Majesty of Baratidi Adewolu Ladoja to please use his good office to help us to tell the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, and appeal to Mr. President to please help us on that particular road, because it's not a work that it is a federal road. So in which I think maybe if there's anything they can do to people that are living in that axis, because that is where I travel to. I work in Ogun State. I travel there every day from Monday to Friday. So maybe it's just trying to help us to fix that particular spot. So that is the appeal I want to make.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario. Thank you so much to our panelists on the show today. Mr. Sanusi, thank you so much for coming on the show. Mr. Benga Mario, Mr. Chukwuemeka Munachi, so thank you so much for being on this episode of Meet the Press. A big thank you to our guest, Chief Ayoade Solomon Olugbemiga, a one-time NUJ chairman, or yesterday NUJ chairman, of course, and also the Chief Press Secretary, in his words, the Chief Press Secretary to the Olubadan. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the show. And a big thank you to everyone who has watched and has listened to Meet the Press today. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to say thank you so much for being with us. Let's work together as residents or as indigents of Ibadan or your state in general to make this state a better one. We learned that open defecation is still a thing. Let's work hand in hand to ensure that this ends. Over the course of this coronation as well, we've heard time and time again about urban renewal. Waste disposal system is still not the best. I was appalled at the event yesterday. People trashing things on the floor. Let's work hand in hand. Look for a dustbin. Do the right thing. I think that's just it. Do the right thing. Like I said this morning, even the good book says it. To him who knows the right thing to do and does not do it, it is a sin. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Don't go anywhere. Please stay tuned. There are still more wholesome programs that are lined up for your listening pleasure. Good afternoon.